It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. To my sisters, I want to remind you of where to put your focus today. Not any man, not any 3D circumstance, but the Word. What does the Word say about what you should be doing? And if you're not doing what the Word says you should be doing, then don't blame anybody else for anything that they do until you are in alignment with what that Word says you should be doing. See, the adulterous woman taken in sin that was going to be stoned, that's you. And Yahusha is the one who stepped in and saved you. So for you to have hate for the man is really idiotic and stupid if you do. It's really a waste of your time. You see? Because it is the Son of Man who saved you. So for you to discount men or hate men or look at them as low value or whatever it is that's negative that you have about the man, then you must look at yourself as a woman and say, am I being that before I blame the man for what he's not being? Like Yahusha did when they were going to stone that woman. Are y'all men first before you're going to stone that woman for her mistakes? You see? So as a whole, woman can't throw stones at the man until she sees whether she's being a woman or not. And likewise, vice versa. It works the same both ways. And that causes us both as men and women to amend our ways, because there is no male and female in reality. We're all I am. Are you not, sister? And any brother that I'm talking to? So then it's best that we live with each other and dwell with each other with understanding. You see? Understanding each other's side of the story instead of only seeing our own side as if that is the only side that exists. That's not true, sis. There are indeed two sides. And until you understand those two sides, you will never be able to understand your man, and you will never be able to be a help meet for him. You won't be right for him. A lot of women are in their misguided energy of being in masculine energy because they feel that that's what they have to do to protect themselves. That's a lie. It's not the way it works. A woman protects herself with either her father or a husband. That's what Abba says. I know a lot of women don't like that, and even you who's listening may not like it. But that doesn't mean that it's not true. Just like the man who wants to be pregnant and have a baby. There are a lot of men who want that. But they will never be able to do that. So you can envy the woman all you want. You will never be that, brother. So it works both ways is what I'm saying. So we are both subject to certain things. We both have to submit as men and women. And women, you have to submit to the fact that you have to find protection in a man. That is what's designed for you to be protected in this world. If it's not a man, then what did God put on this earth to protect you, woman? If it wasn't a man, what did he put here? A dog? A lion? A security system? A gun? Or a knife? You think any of those things will protect you more than a man will that love you? And remember, I told you, we're all creating on our thoughts and feelings. So whatever you think of men and whatever you feel of men is the kind of men you attract to yourself. That's why most of you women are finding yourselves unhappy in your relationships. Isn't it obvious? You are attracting the thing that you hate to yourself. And all these women today claim they know about manifesting. They claim they do. See, but how can you manifest without right thought? You'll be manifesting a bunch of wrong things if you don't have right thought, correct? That's why the man tells the woman what to create and then she creates it. That's why that way it will be logical and factual when she makes it instead of emotional when she makes it. Abba doesn't want something that's just made on logic, and he doesn't want something that's just made on feelings either. He wants both, guys. Y'all understand that? That's when things are the best, isn't it? I mean, am I the only one that thinks that? I'm the only one that thinks that it's best when we're together as one. In that moment when male and female come together as one, that ain't the best feeling ever created? I surely think it is. And I must not be the only one because a whole lot of babies be being born. That's how you got here and that's how I got here. So it's amazing that when we all get here, we decide that we don't want to do the thing that makes more. Even though that's how you got here. Isn't it interesting? You have all of these people switching around. It says the women going to leave the man and go being with the woman in the scriptures, because Abiyah says, okay, that's what you want, then go ahead and have it. And you see it nowadays. But you women know y'all ain't going to be happy doing that either. That's why y'all have lesbian bed death. And any women that's been with women know exactly what I'm talking about, so I need not explain it. They can explain it for you if you have any questions. I didn't come up with the term lesbian bed death. I just know it. So, like I said, we can all run, or just settle down to the truth. That's what I think is best. That's what I think is best. And the only way you can settle down, woman, is to stop being afraid. To stop thinking that you're the man's God and you need to tell him what he needs to do to be right. That's not your position, lady. And you just got to know it is. And as a woman, you shouldn't feel comfortable dictating to a man in your house. It shouldn't even feel comfortable for you. You shouldn't want to do that. You see? But like I said, the biggest defect we have here is trust. And so the men are just going to have to start telling you the truth, whether you like it or not. Long as he tells you the truth, then you're safe. And the man stopped telling you the truth because he wanted you to like him and he wanted you to think he was something that he wasn't, and all kinds of reasons that he lied. And that's why you got bitter and mad. So now if you decide to be with a man, then you must prepare yourself that he may lie to you. Now, what are you going to do if he does? You're going to yell and scream and argue and punch and fight and scratch and embarrass and smear campaign? Is that what you're going to do if he lies? Or are you going to love him out of his lies into the truth if you say you love him? Or are you just going to voice your opinion to him lovingly and softly? When he lies to you, you let him know, honey, don't let me down like that. You don't have to. I'm with you. I told you I'll be with you in sickness and health, good times, bad times. And so I will. But you can't lie to me. That's part of the thing too. That makes me feel unsafe when you lie. It makes me feel like I can't trust you and count on you. Is that the kind of man you want to be? When women learn to talk like that, their houses will stay intact. That's simple. Reverence her man, once again. Instead of reverencing him when he does everything she wants him to do. You're doing a conditional based love, sister, when you live like that. I hope you know it. Now, do you want to be loved conditionally based on your report card that day? Your man only going to love you based upon if you did everything he told you to do exactly like he told you to do it. And if you don't do everything like he said do it, then he won't love you as much that day. So every day it changes. Or would you rather him love you every day the same, no matter what you do? If you fall off, he loves you through it until you stand back up and y'all move forward through life, knowing that the reason y'all are together is not for each other's selfish means. That's not why y'all are together. Y'all are together to have an invested interest in helping each other reach the kingdom together. So when you have those falls, instead of compounding it on the one you say you're helping get to the kingdom, you're helping them to restore themselves back to the kingdom. That's why y'all are together. Y'all didn't know that? Why else are y'all together? Oh, oops. Okay, let's not get worldly, because I know all y'all gonna do is tell me 3D things. Come on, sister. Why are y'all marrying these men? When he asks you why to marry him, why are you saying yes? And don't lie to me today and say, oh, it's because I thought he loved me. No, 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 no. What were the real reasons inside of yourself? Why did you really do it? Was it some ego thing? You thought he was going to make you look more valuable because he was handsome and had money and had status, and that made you look higher? Is that why you married him? Was it because he had a good job? Was it because he lived in a nice neighborhood? Was it because he was over 6'5"? What was the real reason you married him? So then you can tell God the real reason you divorced them. Plain and simple. Y'all think marry is when you stand up there before a white man with a robe on and he says, now say I do, and y'all say I do and shit. That's not marriage. Marriage is when you have sex. Y'all are becoming one person when you have sex. You're marrying. That's what the word marrying means. When you plug a plug into a socket, you're marrying. When you put a light bulb into a light socket, you're marrying. You're making something one, in other words. So when you have sex, you're marrying. Now, when a woman has sex, because this is for the women, when you have sex with one man, that starts something. That opens a door. Now, if you have sex with the next man, you have now committed adultery. That's simple. I know that's for a whore, that's a horrible thing to hear. See, that's not horrible to hear for a prude, chaste woman. She agrees when I say that. She goes, that's right. A woman has a hymen for a reason. It should only be broken by her husband. And then he should be the only one that has access to her womb. So that when the children come out, there are no questions about whose children they are. If people were doing that like that, would there even be a TV show called Maury? Where niggas is dancing and moonwalking on a stage because they just found out they're not the dad? How many times have you seen a woman, I'm talking to you sisters, on that show, and they say, I know that nigga's the daddy, and they do a test and he's not. So then that means, sister, that lady was having sex with that man. I know y'all know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. That means she was having sex with that man and somebody else, obviously, around the same time. And because of that, she doesn't know who the father of the child is. I told you in my own life, my own cousin went through this. He was with a woman. She had a baby. She named that baby after my cousin. The baby didn't look anything like him. He got a paternity test and come to find out it wasn't his baby. Yet this woman did that. She named the baby after him, even though it was another man's baby. Meanwhile, that was supposed to be his girlfriend as well. Oh, my goodness. So y'all hear that? She's coming around the family, hanging around the family. Well, I guess when you left around hanging around us like you were his girlfriend, you went and fucked somebody else and then didn't want him to be the dad because you wanted my cousin to be the dad. See the wicked shit I'm trying to tell y'all? So we don't want that no more, do we? As sisters, do y'all want that? To be y'all reputation for doing that? That I'm going to have to tell my sons, like, look out for women because this the kind of shit they'll do to you. Ain't nobody telling y'all to do that, but who y'all serving when y'all do that? No man says, hey, daughter, if you get pregnant, watch this. No father has ever taught his daughter that if she gets pregnant with a baby and she doesn't want that man to be the father, then sleep with another man and then tell that man that it's his baby. He doesn't teach his daughters to do that. No man does. So where did she learn to do that from? That's my question. Where them ideas, them thoughts come from to do that? To cover it up like that? Okay then. So that should tell you the influence that y'all sisters have been under for the longest time. Now we're coming out of that into right thought. You see? We're coming out of that into right thought, and you're being married, remarried to Christ again. Truth. Through a man in righteousness. That's what God wants. I told you talking is intercourse. So don't get this misconstrued or twisted because there is no male or female in the kingdom of heaven. So open up your spiritual ears when I say this. When people are having a conversation, we call that intercourse. Look it up in the dictionary if you don't believe me. It's called intercourse when people have a conversation. See? So if I'm talking to you sisters and y'all are hearing my words and y'all agree with them, then now you and I have had sex, see, spiritually, and made an offspring. a new baby, which is the new thoughts that you have now about how to deal with your man, how to go forward in life, how to not be fearful, how to know God's name is I am, how to speak I am's name in truth and no longer in lies. When you feel lonely, how to say things like I am not alone. And then whatever thing you want, if it's having a husband, you say I am blissfully and wonderfully married. And then have faith, the substance of the thing hoped for, which is the blissful marriage. The evidence not seen, you don't have the ring or anything yet, but you have the evidence in your mind that it is because you're doing the thing that you now know is right thought. Because a man taught it to you. Did that make sense? So to deny that you need the man, which is thought to tell you this, then that's just a lie. See, Abba said, God, Christ, man, woman. And when that happens, we have beautiful unity in our house. And because all it is it's not the man and the woman, or it's not the man who's ruling over the woman, actually. It's they are both submit to Christ. Both of them. They hold themselves accountable to Christ. So therefore, there is no male and female because they're both subordinate to a higher being anyway. So they don't have a hierarchy over each other. Do y'all hear me preaching to y'all ladies or what? It's not for you to head over the man, not for him to rule over you necessarily. It's not the way it goes. It's knowledge being imparted to children is the point. Abba wants his word to go to a godly offspring. He says that's why he put the man and the woman together, to bear godly offspring. You hear me? Godly offspring. So in order to have godly offspring, the woman who was the first teacher of those babies has to be giving them right thought. Well, she can only get right thought through the man who is connected to Christ to give to her children. Because if her man is not connected to truth, then she will depart from him and raise his children in some kind of lie. All single mothers lie to their children. They all do it. I'm sorry if y'all are offended that I'm telling you this, but y'all do it. Y'all do not tell the 100% truth about why you and that man are not together to that child. You don't do it. For one reason or another. I'm not saying you're right or wrong for what you're doing. I'm just saying you just don't do it. So the child is going to be defective in some way, shape, or form is the point. So in order to have godly offspring, the man and the woman should stay together and raise that child in union like you see in the scriptures. That's simple. Well, in order to make that happen, we got to relinquish our own right to want to rule and submit to a higher power, and that's Christ. So when the man lies, woman, don't sit up there like you're the judge over that man. Just take him to Christ. Just say, you lied. What does your God say about that? That's all you got to do. Use some wisdom, sister. Stop using emotions. Say, what does your God say about lying? And then look at his answer. Well, say, what does your God say about how a man should live with his wife? As soon as he gets all violent with you, say, what is your God? Who is your God? And then when he tells you, the God of the Bible, you say, what does your God say about how you should handle your wife? That's all you got to do. And then vice versa. When she gets out of line, brother, you say, what does God say? What does your God you say you serve say about your actions, sister? That's all y'all got to do. Then y'all will understand that in the kingdom of heaven, there is no male or female or marriage or anything, because you're just living life, holding yourselves accountable to a higher law. You're helping each other do that. That's all. So can y'all follow that today, sisters? Let go of all bitterness, all malice, all anger and wrath. Let that shit go. Let it go. Because if you have that, you'll just push man away from you. And you may in your pride think, I don't need man. God never said that. So I don't know where you got that information once again. You ain't getting it from Abba Yah, because he never said that. He said the woman is not independent of the man, and neither is the man independent of the woman. They are one thing. Read in the beginning. Male and female created he them and called their name Adam. Y'all hear that? So y'all chew on that steak. Let me know how it was. I'm the chef in here cooking. So y'all let me know how it was at the end of dinner. I may have some dessert for y'all. Siloam, sisters.